Okay, this is part 2 of the video, and I'm going to be addressing sexual temptation in relationships. I want to be real as possible in this video. For the sake of it, please do not watch it if you are my mom or my sister or any family member, because then I will feel incredibly uncomfortable. I'm already kind of feeling uncomfortable right now making this video, knowing that you can hear my voice. If you watched my last video, I hit on why it's so important to seek the Lord and make sure you have a relationship with Him. And one of the reasons why is that when you have a relationship with the Lord, it'll help you navigate through sexual temptation as you're dating someone. And as attraction increases and the tension arises, it'll just be easier when you're seeking the Lord. And so in the past, I kept asking myself, okay, what's a secret for me to not ever sin again in my relationship? Like, what's the secret? I need an answer. I need an answer so I don't mess up, so I don't make out and feel guilty. Like, what's the secret? What's the secret? Like, I wanted to know the answer to defeating sexual temptation every time it arises. But here's what the Lord told me: that I need to just seek Him each day. I need to wake up each morning believing and desperately depending on the Lord each day, because each day we're battling we're in a spiritual battle, and each day you don't know what's going to come up. And the Lord was just telling me that I need to depend on Him each and every day, and I need to seek Him earnestly. And not just because I'm in a relationship and because sexual temptation is real, but because that's just how I should live, you know? Depending on Him. If there's no secret, there's no you need to create this rule and you're never gonna have to deal with sexual temptation ever again. That being said, I am gonna share some of the physical boundaries and just the boundaries that we've created to help ourselves. And if you just listen to me read this, it's gonna sound like a bunch of rules, because that's pretty much what it is. But from the heart of it, what really matters is where our heart is. Where my heart is and where my boyfriend's heart is. It matters so much, because if our heart is not set on the Lord, none of these things that I wrote down will matter. None of these boundaries that we told ourselves will matter, because we won't want to listen to it. We'll want to listen to our flesh. Okay, so I'm gonna lean back now. I wrote, try not to meet late at night. Because nighttime, there's just something about it being dark. Things can get freaky at night. So try not to meet so late at night. Second one, don't be in a place alone. Like, it would be such a bad and poor choice to decide that you're gonna go to his house or vice versa when no one is there. Don't go anywhere where you know you're just gonna be alone. And I'm not saying you can't like go take a walk at the park and be like, oh my gosh, what if no one's at the park? You know, don't ever trust yourself. Don't even trust the person that you're dating in that sense, okay? I mean, trust issues, I'm not talking about trust issues. I'm talking about don't trust your flesh. Don't have confidence in your flesh saying, oh, we can meet late at night because, you know, I'm very self-controlled. Or we can do this because I have great self-control or whatever. So don't trust yourself in that sense is what I'm talking about. It's good to date in public, date where there's people. Me and my boyfriend go to public places a lot, whether it's the campus or Starbucks, or just go out where there's people, just so you don't put yourself in a risky situation. Another one is like, don't do anything specifically to turn him or her on. If you know it turns him or her on, then you should want to honor him or her enough where you don't do that on purpose, because, you know, we're trying to honor the Lord. So if you like do something to specifically turn someone on, then we know your heart's not in the right place and you guys need to figure things out, okay? I wrote down something. I'm gonna go ahead and read it. All in all, don't put yourself in these situations so that you can fight temptation. It would be stupid to fight temptation when you're already in a risky situation. Look at me repeating everything. I wanna address this. For those who ask, how far is too far? Am I allowed to do this? Is this too far? Is that whatever? You're asking the wrong question. Asking that question actually reveals your heart. Because our question shouldn't be how far is too far, but it should be, am I glorifying the Lord by doing this? Am I honoring God by doing this? Because our aim should be to honor God and to glorify Him in all we do. So if you're trying to give yourself an excuse by saying how far is too far, then you're focusing on sin and you're not focusing on God, which is what we should be doing. The last thing I want to talk about, which I think will be really helpful, one of the problems that came up as I'm dating, we learned that making out, for me, led to very guilty feelings. It made me feel very unpure, and it made me feel very shameful before God, because I'm like, oh, Lord, I'm supposed to be pure. I'm supposed to be honoring you. And so for me, it was a conviction not to make out. But also because when you make out, you're getting all these feelings, the temptation arises. So we learned that it would be smart to not do that. Let's say like you made out and now you feel shameful, or you took it even more further and you feel shameful and guilty. What do? Well, this is my message to you guys, for those who did take it too far, or who just feels guilty about kissing too much or doing this or that. Return to the Lord. Okay, it's possible to repent from your ways. I think that's very important. If you're going to engage in that kind of act continuously without repenting, then that's a sign of it being an unhealthy relationship. But if you desperately want to repent from your ways, then confess your sin to the Lord and repent, because He still loves you and He wants you to return to Him. He doesn't want to be far from you. He wants you to return to Him and come back to Him each time you fall. I'm not saying that we should take advantage of God's grace and God's love for us. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm saying that God is the God of love and forgiveness, and He wants you to come before Him and return to Him. That's pretty much all I wanted to say. I hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, give it a thumbs up. If you felt like it wasn't and I missed out on something, or I said something incorrectly that I can't edit it, just comment it down below and I'd love to reply to you, just directly in a personal way. This video is very generalized, so I would love to just talk to you guys in person, or by person I mean through comment section. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.